If you study cosmology or flip through a textbook on the subject, you might come across a weird time coordinate called an efold, which can often seem like a weird choice of clock. So what the heck is an efold, and why do cosmologists often use them to measure time? For a time in the universe's history, like cosmic inflation, which we expect to start and finish within about 10 to the power of minus 33 seconds, it's often more convenient to measure the length of inflation using a unit called efolds, rather than seconds or hours or years. Admittedly, this is a bit of a strange unit of time, because it doesn't really tell you how long it lasts, and 2 efolds don't even have to last the same amount of time. An efold is basically the same as a doubling time, which you might have heard of. And the doubling time for the universe is simply however long it takes for the universe to double in size. For example, the doubling time of a line is simply however long it takes a line to double in length. If a line starts off this length and then doubles in size, it'll be this length. The doubling time is simply however long that takes to happen. You could also take the doubling time of the entire universe. Quite different scales, but exactly the same concept. The doubling time is simply however long it takes the universe to double in size. An efold is similar, except instead of the universe multiplying by a factor of 2, as it does during a doubling time, it multiplies by a factor of e, many people's favourite irrational number. There are many good videos online explaining the number e, and I'll leave some in the description, but it's a famous number that appears all over the place. It's an irrational number, which means it's actually impossible to write down its value exactly, because the numbers after its decimal point never end and never become repetitive. But it's approximately equal to 2.71. Since e is slightly bigger than 2, things increase in size a bit more during an efold than they would during a doubling time. So if the universe starts off this size, an efold is just however long it takes the universe's size to increase by a factor of e. In terms of an actual length of time in seconds, this does sound a bit vague, but sometimes this is actually more convenient to use than seconds. The typical example of when efolds are used is during inflation, when the universe grew incredibly quickly for an incredibly short amount of time. The minimum amount of inflation we need for it to explain the universe we see today is known in terms of how much bigger the universe got during inflation, not how many seconds it lasted. I mean, for inflation to be useful, it has to increase the size of the universe by a factor of 10 to the power of 26 in each spatial direction, however long that takes. Not, it has to last some amount of seconds, however much the universe expands during that time. I hope that difference is clear. This means that we know that during inflation, the size of the universe has to increase by a factor of e to the power of 60, since e to the power of 60 is approximately equal to 10 to the power of 26. This in turn means that we know that inflation has to last at least about 60 efolds. You take the power of e that the size increases by, and that's the number of efolds, however long that actually takes in seconds. Although during inflation, it's typically about 10 to the power of minus 35 seconds for each efold that passes, which is a pretty short time. It's just easier to talk about something lasting 60 efolds rather than saying 10 to the power of minus 35 seconds every single time. It's just more convenient, and that's why we use it as a time coordinate in inflation and some other areas of cosmology too. Inflation isn't the only place that efolds are used in cosmology, or in science in general. It's just my favourite example because I've studied it. But if you know a cool example where they're used, let me know in the comments below. And let me know if there are other cosmology related things you'd like me to talk or learn about. Until next time, stay safe team. I'll see you soon. Bye.